Well, what a treat. Joining us now, the whole Texas basketball coaching staff, the new staff. I'm going to go through this. Let me see if I can do this. Shaka Smart, the head coach. We've got Darrin Horn, David Cason, Mike Morrell, and Jay Lucas. Guys, welcome. Welcome to Longhorn Network.
Thanks for having us.
All right, let's go ahead and go through the list here. Let's start with Coach Horn. You were at South Carolina as a head coach. You've also been at Western Kentucky where you were a really good player. But you were doing what we're doing. You were with ESPN and the SEC network for the last 3 years. Why did you go out and get this guy?
Well, it was really a no-brainer for us. He's got terrific head coaching experience. He's a guy that I've known for quite a while, so there was a comfort level between the two of us. And, I knew coming down here to Texas that we've got a big job in our hands. And I think with his head coaching experience and what he's done even prior to that, we're really excited about him joining our staff.
Now, I don't have to say this, but working for ESPN is great, and you know that. So why did you make the decision to get back into coaching?
First and foremost, I miss coaching, but in order to do it, I was looking for an opportunity at a great place with a great person, and I think I've hit a home run on both. I'm really fortunate to be here and thankful for Shaka to make me a part of this staff with, I think, as good a coach as there is in college basketball, maybe more importantly, as good a person as there is in college basketball, and I'm at one of the premier athletic programs in the country. And so if you're going to go from an easy life on TV to get back to the grind.
It's not that easy. Come on, all right? It's a grind.
Then, the basketball grind, I wanted to do it in a place like that, and I think maybe above all, to have fun again.
Yeah.
And TV was a lot of fun, but for a coach and a former player, there's nothing more fun than this, and one of the coach's real strengths is his players have fun playing for him, and it's a fun environment.
We're going to get into that because I've already heard the buzz about the energy and just guys having fun playing basketball. Let's get to Coach Cason. Why did you choose this man?
Well, Coach Cason and Coach Morrell came with me from VCU, so obviously it's great to have a level of familiarity, at least on part of your staff. We were really fortunate at VCU in that we were able to have some success with the teams that we had there, and a huge part of that was the staff. Mm-hmm. The guys we had worked extremely hard, worked well together, and also understood what went into winning at VCU. David was a huge part of that this past year. He worked with our point guards. We had a challenging situation where our best point guard went down with injury during the course of the year.
We know about that at Texas.
He did a phenomenal job, helping those guys navigate through the season, and we were able to get those guys to the point where at the end of the year we could win our league championship. And I don't think that could have been done without the mentoring that David provided for our point guards.
I look at your resume and a lot stands out, but the recruiting and the coaching you did at Tulsa, you hit the San Antonio area, you know the Texas area, Jordan Clarkson. Why did you want to make this move to Austin?
Well, I tell you what, first of all, just having the opportunity to work with Coach Smart and the staff that he's assembled is just phenomenal. But as an assistant coach, as you go through your career, there's a few jobs that you look at and you say, wow, I would love to be an assistant coach at this place, or I'd love to be an assistant coach at certain places. And the University of Texas has always been a dream destination for me as an assistant. But to add the head coach and Coach Smart made it that much more special for me. And I've been lucky in recruiting some of the kids that I've recruited. And with our staff, we have some of the same philosophies in recruiting, and just getting that and that being passed on to me from Coach Smart and others on our staff has just really helped me personally with my vision, our vision for recruiting.
And you have those ties in Texas, and you've shown that. Let's go ahead and get to that recruiting philosophy. What is your recruiting philosophy?
Well, how much time do you have? I mean,
we got time. I'm doing the show by myself. Let's go ahead and have fun here.
Well, I think the most important thing that we try to do in recruiting is make a match. We want to find young men that fit what we're about, and then we want to find young men that we fit who they're about. And it's not necessarily for everyone. I don't think there's any one-size-fits-all program out there. And it's not just about assembling talent. Obviously, you have to have a certain level of talent to win at the level that we want to win at. But for us, we're also looking for some of the intangible factors like competitiveness, Guys that have a level of enthusiasm for playing the game of basketball is very, very important. You mentioned the word energy. We want energy givers on our team. I want energy givers on our staff. That's why these guys are sitting here today. We really believe in the game of basketball. If you can be the more enthusiastic, more energetic team, you have a huge advantage. Now, you still have to make shots and stop the other team from making shots, but those are a couple of the intangible things. The state of Texas is really, really important to us in recruiting. We're blessed to be in a state that has terrific talent, and not just in one area. There's talent spread out around the state of Texas. So our number one priority is this state. In recruiting, we want to do a great job establishing relationships and letting the young men know in this state that University of Texas can be a terrific destination for them as they're choosing a school.
You get Austin as a sales pitch. That kind of helps out. And Coach Morrell, I know you've been hitting the road with all these guys. You've been with Coach Smart for a little while. Coach, I'll start with you. Why did you want to take Mike from VCU here?
Well, Mike's been terrific. We've been around each other for almost 10 years, and it started back when he was a GA. And I do have to mention, Mike is still single, so I want to throw that out there. But
Mike, it's camera 3 right there. Let's get a full profile, all right?
But I'll tell you what.
We're not putting numbers, all right? We're not doing that here on ESPN, all right?
Mike is extremely hard worker. He's done a great job. He was on our staff at VCU the past 4 years. And the relationships that he built with the players at VCU, those relationships were extremely strong. To be honest with you, for guys that make up our staff, along with recruiting, that relationship piece of it is as important as anything. I mean, we want people on our staff that our players can feel connected to and can feel a strong, strong bond with that even goes beyond the game of basketball. Mike did a phenomenal job of that at VCU. I remember when he first got there, I put him in charge of a young incoming freshman who also was first getting to VCU. And that young man's name was Travion Graham. And at that time, Travion Graham was 17 years old and really couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. But 4 years later, he's graduating as the second all-time leading scorer at VCU, won the MVP of the Portsmouth Invitational. And a lot of that is because of the mentoring that Mike provided for him.
Mike, why was it important? You've known Shaka for a long time and coached with him. Why did you say, you know what, I'm going to Austin with him?
It was a no-brainer for me. There's nobody I respect more. He's been an unbelievable mentor for me for, like he said, for 10 years. So, it's just an opportunity that you never pass up. So, he's been unbelievable to me. I've always done what he said, and for 10 years that's worked out pretty well for me. So there was never a question. Just the excitement to be here is one thing, but the excitement to be here with him is a whole nother.
The success you guys had at VCU, what can you take and what you and Coach Smart take from that can translate here at Texas?
Well, I think like he said, he gives us a responsibility as a staff, almost every single year. And the number one thing is to spend time with players, and it goes back to what he was talking about, the relationship piece. So I don't think whether it matters whether you're on the moon or you're at Texas or at VCU or wherever. That's where it all starts with us, was, the relationship with those guys. And, then you got to get good players.
Yep.
So we know that. And, it'll all start with that. But the relationship piece is what we really value.
You got to get Jimmy and Joe. You got to have the relationship, and you guys will add the X's and the O's. I know this guy, Jay Lucas. He played here at Texas. Also, you knew him at Florida before you transferred, but you've been a part of this staff. Why did you come in and say, I got to have Jay?
Well, it was a really, really easy decision. And, coming down here, as you know, when there's a coaching change, everything happens so fast.
Yeah.
And, your head's spinning and you're trying to figure out a lot of different things. And one of those things is you have to quickly formulate a staff. So I got down here, and what became apparent very, very quickly was the way that everyone at this university, both inside and outside of the basketball program, feels about Jay Lucas. And, obviously I'd been around Jay for a little while in our time together at Florida. And once I got a sense of the way that the players feel about him, the administration feels about him, former players, it just made so much sense. And, Jay's a guy that he had some options, to go to some different places. And I think he has an affinity for the University of Texas. Obviously, with his background in Houston and his family's background, it's a very, very close connection. But we're just really excited to have him here.
Yeah, well, definitely excited to have you back, and your pops is always around, and everyone knows his name in the state of Texas. Well, Coach just said it. You love Austin. You love UT. We know that. You could have left, and that still could have been the same case. Why did you say, okay, I'm going to stay, and I want to be with Coach Smart?
Well, you just said it right there. Learning from Coach Smart, who I have a great, tremendous respect for of everything he's done at VCU and the rest of the staff up here. You just have the opportunity to, hear a different voice and learn from someone new, and kind of see, what's their identity and how are they recruiting and how are they coaching the kids, and just the opportunity to, learn something different and continue to grow in my profession and just become a better person and better coach and learning from new people.
It's always tough to compare and contrast, but have you seen from maybe a couple months ago, these kids are really coming in and they want to be there and they seem pretty excited about playing basketball?
Yeah, and that usually comes at the end of the season, but when the season's over and you also get a new coach and something, it kind of, hits a reset button and gives everybody a different sense of energy and just, enthusiasm to play the game. And I think that's the one thing you've really noticed.
You get a new start, too. You get fresh eyes.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, you said, how much time do we have? We got time because we're going to come back because I got a lot more questions for you guys. So we've got the whole Texas coaching staff, and we'll be back with some on-the-court stuff, some recruiting stuff, and just talking ball.